Hey y'all. If you're out there, say hello. I'm just gonna wait for a couple of comments to pop up before I get started. Happy Monday. It's been a happy Monday for me, so that's why I'm saying happy Monday. Normally I wouldn't give you a Monday dance, but today I'm giving y'all a Monday dance, a little Monday head bob. Hey Cheryl, Noemi. I'm starting to retain the pronunciations of everyone's names. I don't know if I get everyone right, but I'm trying, y'all. I'm really trying. Zydeco, hey. Luthaza, Yolanda. Yes, Rochelle. Okay, YouTube is pushing through early today. Jason. So I really did not come to like just talk about, go. I'm not on my soapbox today, y'all. I'm not on my soapbox. So I really want to know what's on your mind. You guys leave your comments, your questions, and let's just make this like super interactive. I know I've like last week I think I did like three soapboxes. Hey Robin, Nick, fooled by a smile. Fooled by a smile. Is it Dov or Dave? King. Let me know how that goes. Let me know how you say it. Thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl says, perfect. You're awesome on Roland Martin Unfiltered and K Hive. Thank you. I love being on Roland. I love being with Erica Savage Wilson, Dr. Card Roland. It's such a great panel. Dave. Okay, got it. Nick says, I want to know why the hell Malcolm Nance is going after Bianca De La Rosa, to be perfectly honest. I really don't want to get into all of this whole slugfest stuff going on because um I really feel like a lot of it is really taking us way off track. I don't know, I can't speak for everybody else, but I can speak for me. My advocacy for Kamala Harris is my focus. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there are a lot of things that I try to do with my page, but more importantly, I really feel like now is the time to go hard and advocate and not get sidetracked. And I think that people have all. Hey, Star is here. Star Jones. Hey. So anyway, just more of the story is, listen, today is a good, beautiful, positive day. I'm gonna talk about Star and I's collaboration in a second. So, I'm not saying, yes, Rochelle says the Star Jones. Yes, the Star Jones. Okay, the Star Jones. So I'm gonna focus on the positive today. I'm not doing the slugfest. I'm not doing the fighting. I'm not doing the sidetrack. Quentin, what up? My homie Quentin is here. Okay, let me say hello to some more people. Then I'm gonna get to some other stuff. Okay. Let's see. So Zydeco. I think that's what you mean, right? Zydeco, just like the music. I don't know. I don't know like the music. Rochelle, Selena, Robin. Yes, that's just everybody's like the Star Jones. That's the. Okay, so let's talk about the Star Jones. So Star and I don't know if you guys saw my announcement earlier. We are getting together this Wednesday at our this is the normal time, 5 p.m. So you're here now. That means there's no reason why you can't be here on Wednesday, jail. And check us out. We're having a conversation, and we're calling it credentials, not cosmetics, because it's really time to really nip this in the bud, and it's been going on for quite a while. Sorry, you got some people in the comments saying, "Hey, Miss Jones." It's really time to change the conversation away from how Black women in particular are called the cosmetics pick. It's not called cosmetics when somebody says you should pick a white woman because she might bring the Midwest, or you should pick a white woman because she might bring white suburban voters. It's not called cosmetics then. But when Black people and the fact that we're the base of the party comes to the conversation, then all of a sudden it's cosmetics. Well, no, our conversation is going to set the record straight. It's credentials, not cosmetics. When we are advocating for a Black woman at VP, we're advocating for credentials, getting the respect that they deserve, and getting the prominence that they deserve. And part of those credentials, let's be honest, in this climate that we're in, is about your cultural competency. It's about your lived experiences. It's about your history and what you focused on. And so that's what our conversation is going to be focused on, but it's going to be very substantive. This is not a situation where we're going to just be talking about symbolism, where we're going to be talking about all these things. We have 20 categories. 20 categories. I'm going to tell y'all tomorrow. We're going to build up to it. But we have 20 categories where we can identify substantive and important qualifications, credentials that black woman, whether you make it plural or singular, bring to a Biden ticket. So that's our conversation, 5 p.m. Wednesday. It's going to be streaming on both of our platforms. And so share it with everybody, because it's really time to have a conversation that doesn't shortchange black women. Many of us are black women, and we understand that when people are, even black men, when diversity is talked about, it's always talked about as though there's a deficiency that you're accommodating for when you bring in diversity. And that could not be further from the truth. So really looking forward to having this conversation. We've been talking every day. Star's my auntie for life. Okay. And we just had really great conversations, and it's really going to be really, 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 really solid. I know y'all people probably think I'm off the chain and I'll be cutting up, but y'all know I know how to bring some receipts, and we know Star is an icon. She's an icon, jail. So she definitely got the receipts. So 2 people bring a receipt, you know it's going to be good. So check that out. Rochelle, very good. Looking forward to this. Yes. Hey, Kenny, Samuel. Selena, so S-I Lena, is that Selena? And then Selena. All right, y'all, what's on your mind? I can get started. I can get started on this one article. Speaking of Kamala, I don't know if you guys have noticed, so Lara Bazelon, I've been on her head, yeah. But Kamala Harris was not a progressive prosecutor. That was the op-ed that really severely damaged Kamala Harris's, criminal justice bona fides, because unfortunately she got the leg up on Kamala in terms of defining her record, and by defining I really mean smearing, because that's actually what happened, smearing her record. And it was lowbrow, it was cherry pick stuff, it was lies, it was all kind of foul stuff up in there, but it was an easy narrative. It was easy, and I've told y'all before, it is easier to convince people of a sensational lie than a simple truth. And so she was very effective of that, at that. But now she's backtracking, Chad. Now she's backtracking. She backtracked in Politico. Her and Sean King, who has me blocked, backtracked on Politico a couple weeks ago, complimenting her for how she's handling this whole policing reform movement that's happening right now. In her leadership. So, better late than never, I guess. But, so that's interesting. And today there was a piece was it NPR? I think it was NPR. I saw her in 2 pieces, actually. It was NPR and it was in The Hill. And so now all of a sudden, oh, well, she's done some progressive things. You think? Of course she's done some progressive things. So now it's the backtrack. So let me just tell y'all, if y'all see that hit piece, it was Lara Bazelon, January, I think 20th or 21st, 2019. Kamala Harris is not a progressive prosecutor. That one, make sure you go and you quote, screenshot her comments now, where all of a sudden she's willing to acknowledge that Kamala Harris is in fact progressive and she's done a lot of progressive things. Make sure y'all bring those receipts. Because a lot of people it was not good faith arguments, and it was really irresponsible of the media to constantly quote these people as though they're disinterested parties when they are not, okay? They supported Bernie Sanders or whoever else. All right, I'm going to go back to your comments. So y'all tell me what's on your mind. Nobody is saying nothing about, what's going on in the world. Did you guys see Donald Trump and, him talking about, trying to skirt around the question of whether he has or whether he has slowed down the testing. Nobody's even talking about the fact that he fired the SDNY prosecutor. That was like a one-day news story. Normally that kind of controversy would just be like, oh my God, it would just be the apocalypse if it was a Democrat who did that. Lady D says, I'm very excited, can't wait, so proud of this type of proud of this type of platform. Thank you. Nick says, love this idea. Reese, my white ass is tired as F of the relentless attack on black women, their achievements, their capabilities, and their voices when everything they accomplish becomes because they are 3 times better and do 3 times as much as work. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, because we definitely don't get no credit for nothing. Nothing. Hey, Jackie and Tony. Kenny says the problem was people were willing to believe it due to preconceived notions placed on black women. Absolutely. Hey, TJ. Blessed One says, I read Kamala's book. It was a good read. I got to know who she actually was instead of all the slander and disinformation put out about her. Yes. Yes, I love her book. The Truths We Hold. It's on my coffee table in my sitting area. Let's see. Deb says more like 10 times the work for half the credit. My fellow white women are being awfully obtuse about Kamala, and it's hard to see any reason but misogynoir. I mean, it's not just misogynoir. What it is it's threatening the system that has been in place this entire time, right? I mean, part of it is like, hey, Kamala is a black woman. White women may want to go first. I maintain y'all had 3 chances. Plus, you had 4 to 5 white women, depending on how you classify Tulsi Gabbard, that ran for president. Why y'all not vote for one of them? Blessed One says some progressives are worse than the right when it comes towards vitriol towards Democrat. I know that's why I've really gotten away from the progressive label. Ideologically, I think I'm very much like fluid in terms of like I like good ideas, not so much a specific label. But I do think it's been gentrified and I think it's been weaponized, and I do not appreciate that. Rochelle says, how do you think Senator Harris will do on foreign policy and engaging our allies? Well, she sits on the Intelligence Committee, and they have weekly classified briefings. And so, being in the intelligence community, as Senator Kamala Harris says, that makes her more equipped than even Biden at this point. Because let's be honest, Biden has been out of the White House for almost 4 years, and so the changing, the emergent threats. And I'm not saying she's more qualified than Biden. Be clear, I'm not saying she's more qualified than Biden on foreign policy, but I'm saying equipped in terms of what's happening right now. That knowledge, getting those weekly classified hearings. And I don't know if you guys saw, there was an article in Vox last year that she got rave reviews from even her Republican peers in terms of her work on the Senate Intelligence Committee. So she has the work, she has the knowledge, certainly. She's also done foreign policy as Attorney General, working with Mexico. She's worked with other states as Attorney General. So I think that she's perfectly fine there. I mean, she has executive experience, right? And so I think what Kamala brings to the table as having had executive experience is it's not about giving speeches when you're an executive. You have to show and prove some stuff, right? And so when you have people, and I'm not naming names, but you have some people who have the ability to protest and I'm not going to vote for this and I'm not going to vote for that and be purists because they're never the deciding vote on anything. Well, when you're an executive, the buck stops with you. And so that's where you have to make some compromises. That's where you have to be diplomatic. As Attorney General, she worked with different agencies. I did a thread last year of her press conferences, and I'm telling you, it's so impressive. And maybe I'll just retweet it after this. It's so impressive to just see the amount of coordination she did across different agencies, and that's something that will be very useful in terms of a Biden administration. Why do you think Jeffrey Berman got fired? Because he was investigating Trump's allies. That's the only logical reason, right? I mean, it's all about self-preservation. The H-1B visa situation is dire. Lady D, is that, I think I had read something, and I didn't look into it, but I think I read something about Donald Trump is suspending some visas throughout the end of the year. Is that what you're referring to? Which is appalling. It's just, he's such a white nationalist. And it's uncalled for. And it's appalling. The xenophobia, the racism, the white nationalism from this government that's going completely unchecked is appalling. And it should be a bigger scandal than what it is. Noemi says, do you see end to COVID before January 21st? People act like COVID already over. You see people out with no masks on. People going back to doing weddings and funerals and parties and child. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we the crazy ones for having masks and staying home or what. Chandra says, glad Trump is out of my city. Yeah, Tulsa. Tulsa definitely showed Trump that you ain't all that anymore, child. We have to remain focused on getting that man out of office. I agree, TJ. The bigger Yolanda says the bigger part of the story was the pushback he gave Barr. I think that is a big story. Unfortunately, because the media likes things to focus on crowd size and focus on the spectacle of Trump. That wasn't as big of a story as it should have been. But I appreciate that he was like, first of all, you're not gonna put it out there that I resigned. I absolutely did not. I'm gonna show up to work and I'm gonna force you to fire me. And then even the story behind Barr saying that Trump fired him and then Trump saying I didn't have anything to do with it. It's a mess. But I mean, it seems like we have a lawless Trump regime. I wouldn't even call it an administration at this point. Max says, did you hear about the closing of the polls in Kentucky? Yes. And I think it's appalling. I mean, it went from over 2,000 to, do you guys remember? Is it 30 something? Or was it 300? I feel like it was in the 30s. But this is why I'm going to keep pushing it, y'all. Get your mail in ballots because it might seem like, oh, okay, well, things are fine. We have plenty of polling places. And then a couple of days before the election, they can pull some shit like what they just did in Kentucky, which is like cut down on all of the polling places. But yeah, that's voter suppression. That is anti-democratic or undemocratic rather. Hey Susan, and hey Susan's mom. Samuel said Karens and Connies are not to be trusted. Y'all saw Connie get told off, and I came to talk to you, Connie. Woo! Gary Chambers Jr., that's his name? Yes. He read her ass for filth. But I appreciate, this is what I said, I've been saying this. These local hearings, it also applies to local election board hearings. Go and hold these people's feet to the flame because you can get success. There's good success, like what Gary Chambers Jr. and the people that were advocating for the name change of that school in East Baton Rouge did. But there is bad success, which happened in Orange County. I posted about this last week or 2 weeks ago, where you had these folks coming in there, craziest ass people, blasting and cussing out the board commission in Orange County about requiring face coverings, and they won. So if you're not speaking up, somebody is speaking up. So if you're not making your voice heard, then you're abdicating your power to somebody else who's more vocal than you. Now, hopefully they're on your side, but if they're not, then you can have some problems. Hey B Dizzle. Nick says, I think people are so used to Trump firing people who go against him that it's almost complacency on the part of the Dems to not be screaming it from the rooftop. I don't know if it's complacency from the Dems. I just think there isn't much people can do at this point. So that's the problem. This is iced tea, by the way, guys. I'm not drinking alcohol. Even though it will be a great day for a cocktail at 5:20 p.m. Kenny says, stay safe, y'all. Keep practicing social distancing. Yes. Thabo. Speaking of NY, Donald Trump and Barr accomplished nothing. They got played. What do you mean by that? Hey, Jazz. She says she's talking about Kamala. She sits on the Intelligence Committee, so I know she got this. Right. Tony says, I'm reclaiming progressive for us and calling them folks aggressive. Or call them regressive. Because if you're trying to denigrate black people, if you're trying to sit up there and tell black people to go to the back of the bus, then that's regressive to me. That's not progressive. So maybe that's the more accurate word for people. Let's see. Rochelle says, I see her doing well on the world stage. Y'all know one of the things that I said, I was very skeptical about Biden picking a vice president, and then I decided to say, well, skepticism or not, this is what he needs to do. But I was saying Kamala should be a Secretary of State. The Democratic Party has never chosen a black Secretary of State. And so I thought that would be a good place for her if, Joe Biden insisted on having an all-white ticket. But we're pushing for vice president because that's what we need. We need Kamala in that White House. That one says, by the way, Beto is flipping Texas blue as this is going on. Really? What's going on in Texas? Because I haven't seen a whole lot out of that. Hey, Michael. B Dizzle asked me, do you watch The Shire Power? I don't watch either of those things. Okay, I'm so far behind. Star Jones, the Star Jones, says, as a former NY prosecutor, I can tell you that SDNY is notoriously known for independence. They follow the evidence, and when the evidence leads to criminality, they prosecute. Period. So you are not getting away with it. When she says that is dangerous to Trump and his boys. Absolutely. And why is where all the action is going to be at, yeah. Tish James down there, and the state NY level, then SDNY, in the soon to be presumably, hopefully, optimistically Biden administration. It's going to be some stuff. The question is, I mean, how can they get to all of the crimes that the Trump and his regime have committed? That's going to be the real question. That's going to take a whole thing. I think our country doesn't typically have much of an appetite to go after ex presidents, but I think all the other people in Trump world should be very afraid. Kenny says she's more culturally competent and willing to learn from mistake, or at least willing to acknowledge her missteps. That's what a real leader, because she's shown she's willing to grow. Absolutely. It's all about evolving. I don't think that anybody has ever been perfect their entire life, right? So Rochelle asked Star, will the cases be continued? I think they are close to his taxes. I know that Tish James on his ass when it comes to those taxes. Yolanda says, yes, they do. They earn the sovereign DNY. Susan says, I read an article about mail-in ballots being easy to throw away. What's your take? Just trying to think the best way to encourage get out the vote. Mail in or vote early. Mail in and hand it in. So yeah, I think, and one of the things that I said is that if people are concerned about their ballots being tossed out, then you can drop your ballot off. Usually there are plenty of ballot locations, and so I would do that. I dropped my mail-in ballot off this time. I'm awful at mailing stuff. So for me, it was just go drop it off. But yeah, I understand people's skepticism and like, oh, I don't want it to be, there are always these conspiracies or reports. I don't know, whichever way you want to call it, about, oh, there was a whole bag of ballots that, of mail that got tossed out. But I think that it's going to be easier to, take precautions and try to make sure you're very diligent about your mail-in ballot than show up at your polling place and you're like, okay, well, this is a 5-hour wait and I can't stay. So that's my thing. Hey, Sheila from the Bay Area. Okay, so Zydeco says 30. Okay, so I'm getting 3,700 to 200 is what how they've reduced down to Kentucky. I don't know what's going to happen in Kentucky. I think I'm glad that right now we're seeing like this is a bigger wave of water under the bridge for tomorrow, because you have the big election down in Kentucky with Charles Booker versus Amy McGrath, and then you have all these primaries and these contested primaries in New York. So I'm hoping that after we get through that wave, things will simmer down a little bit in terms of like people being in all their different factions. I'm personally rooting for Charles Booker. I don't know how close he is, but I do think what I hope that people take away from it is like a lot of times they count the black person out right away, and everybody like galvanizes behind the white person because they feel like, oh, this person, is going to be more acceptable to the general electorate. And I mean, I think that black people are counted out too quickly. So yeah. So I'm rooting for him. I don't know what's going to happen though. Hey, Derek. Justice. She said, I'm supposed to be doing homework, but I needed to watch this. Girl, you can come back. You can watch it on a replay. Charles said, help me get my sister off the Harris Hay train. What's the problem, Charles? What's the problem? Tell her to tune in on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern. That's another plug. Star Jones, the Star Jones, and I will be talking about 20 categories in which a black woman, are qualified to be the next VP and to be president on day one, because that's part of the criteria. You have to be ready to be POTUS on day one. Rochelle says Gary Chambers Jr. was on Morning Joe. He was all about elevating his community. Hoping he gets a platform. Yeah, I love that. Called out Miss Dawn Collins. He sure did. Um, let's see. Let me try to catch up. I'm behind 6 minutes. Let me try to catch up. Biden needs to hurry up and announce that VPs. Doesn't he? Come on. Come on. People are getting real out of control right now. Let's see. Sheila says our Sonoma County sheriff went rogue and refuses to enforce local health, public health orders. Check out Peggy Hall in Orange County. She got a whole anti-mask movement going on. Yeah, I was talking about Orange County. It's crazy. It's really crazy. I don't know about y'all, but I have anxiety. Like I was in the market on Friday. People weren't really social distancing. This one lady, she coughed. I almost lost it. And I was just like, ugh. But I had my mask on. But then, y'all, let me tell you how I almost lost my shit. She walked by me, and I was social distancing, and she coughed with her mask down, like literally like 2 feet from me. Woo! I really wanted to cuss her ass out so bad. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Why would you not have your mask on when you're coughing? That's the whole point of wearing a mask, so that if you have any kind of respiratory droplets, it doesn't affect other people. So if anything happened to me, y'all go hunt her ass down from the market. Shit. We need some contact traces. Speaking of COVID, did y'all see what happened to D.L. Hughley? That was crazy. I'm so glad that he is okay. But I mean, people were out at this comedy show indoors. Nobody's wearing masks, and he got COVID-19. Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. We got to do better. Yes, Condoleezza Rice was Secretary of State. My point about Secretary of State, I said the Democrats have never had a black Secretary of State. Republicans have had two. They had Colin Powell and they had Condoleezza Rice. The Democrats have had zero. So that was the point that I was making. TJ says, when he announced Kamala, I'll begin donating again. Yeah, me too. I ain't got one red solitary cent for you until Kamala Harris is on that ticket. Period. Ruben says, according to Voto Latino, there are 3.1 unregistered young first-time eligible voters. 2.1 million of them are Latinx. Yes. Yes. We have to do better at engaging the unregistered eligible community. I know that Kamala Harris is very strong with the Latinx community. She has the receipts of that. Zadeko, Basilone quote to NPR, she did champion progressive causes. Yeah, I saw that earlier. I talked about that a little earlier. Jackie says, I'm looking forward to January 21st when my NY governor and AG collect him for IJ. Okay. Lonnie says, please watch the Young Turks video about Amy Klobuchar dropping out of VP race. It was a shit fest on Kamala. Would love you and Hot Podcast to respond in kind. TYT shit on Kamala. Fuck the TYT. They're racist. They're white supremacists. I don't care if some of them are not white. You can be a deputy of white supremacy even if you're not white. Yeah, I see it every day, all day. And I don't really care about what they have to say. Did what's his name? Shank? Didn't he get his ass handed to him when he ran? So all they do is talk and run their mouth. But I mean, nothing surprises me about what people say. But they're pressed and they're shook. It's gonna be her, so they can get over it. Oh, okay. So Ruben, now the numbers that I just quoted were specifically in Texas, not nationally. Sarah says, do you feel like when Trump is gone from the White House that he will face repercussions for his crimes? I want to, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. But I think people around him will. Jessica, the new AG will have to have a Trump Crimes Commission, okay? Hey, VA, things are going great. A great day. Glad I catch your show. Thank you for tuning in. Lady D says, thank you for these discussions. I think your receipts help to ground people to stop idol worshiping politicians. Bring receipts, push for better. Yeah, I think that's what it's about. Like, let's talk about receipts, not just rhetoric. It's funny because some people get a pass on only having rhetoric and other people get dragged because they actually tried to do something. Well, damn, if I just sat up there and talked for 70 years or however many years and never had no skin in the game, then I would have a flawless, squeaky clean record too. You couldn't blame me for nothing because I ain't actually done shit. Rochelle, took mine to the Board of Elections because we had to sign our name on outside of envelope and MD. Yeah. So you probably didn't want to worry about any kind of voter fraud is, I mean, identity fraud. Yeah. To me, I feel like taking dropping off your ballot is just as it's easier even than going to vote. Some people like the voting experience though. If you want the voting experience, then that's fine. Thank you, Mark. Um, Gertie says I'm in Kentucky just learning about Charles Booker myself. He's gaining or has gained a lot of ground. He has. It seems like he's gained a lot of ground. Jessica says rumor has it there's one polling place in Louisville. It's disgusting what they're doing. Jackie says, isn't Booker a Bernie candidate? I mean, I think that there are people, this is my thing. You guys know how I feel about Bernie shit. Y'all know how I feel about these regressives. I ain't even call them progressives. But I mean, I think we have to, at least I should say, I'm willing to move past those like camps. As long as you ain't dog out Kamala, then I can give you a little bit of latitude. Even if you're aligned with people that I don't, you're aligned with certain factions. I'm trying to make an effort to judge people based on what I see from them. As long as they didn't attack Kamala. If you attack Kamala, all bets are off. I ain't got shit for you. But I haven't seen problematic behavior from Charles Booker for myself. I've seen what he's about, and I like it. And so the fact that the DSA people, the Democratic Socialists, or that people who like Bernie push him, I mean, it is what it is with that. I'm not gonna hold it against them. Just like some people be talking shit about K Hive or whatever else. Okay, well, do you like Kamala? Because if you do, then what the fuck does it matter if you don't like what some people on Twitter say? So I'm granting that same grace towards people that I would like for them to grant towards Kamala. If just because you don't like some people that tweet jail, don't hold that against Kamala. Kamala is not the Twitter moderator. Thank you, Grim. Let's see. Okay, Charles. She believes that BS about her locking brothers up. I mean, I don't understand the concept of just thinking that like Kamala Harris was like, you go to jail, you go to jail, you go to jail. Like, she ain't got time for that. She ain't got time for it. She locked up people. She focused on hardcore criminals. But much of her career is actually not being a prosecutor in the strictest sense of the word, meaning being hands on cases. Most of her career is being an executive, meaning policy making and things like that. So Charles, if she's black, then she might really be interested in the Live with the K Hive video that we just did, episode 10. It was all about Kamala's policy prescriptions for Black America. We went through 8 categories and we laid out her receipts and her policies and things like that. And so maybe sometimes I feel like people just don't understand that there's so much to Kamala's record, beyond the hit pieces and the memes and other crap like that. Shantae says, NYC open phase 2 today. I stumbled into conspiracy theory Twitter about these fireworks. I was like, I told tweet about the fireworks. I'm just thinking like, who got all this damn money for fireworks? Fireworks is expensive as shit, and I'm hearing fireworks going off all the time. But then apparently there's a whole conspiracy theory about it. I won't repeat it, but I just thought it was interesting. I was like, okay, but that's fine. But I mean, the way the times that we're living in, don't nothing sound too crazy. Elizabeth says, I count on any DSA endorsement. Listen, I don't tell people what I mean. I guess whatever criteria you have is fine. Jazz says, I have so much anxiety. I have serious anxiety. I see so much at my hotel. Yeah. I don't understand why my city did that about New York. Yep. There's so many people not wearing masks at all. And listen, I live in an all black area. Everybody has on masks. Now, everybody don't wear their mask properly, but everybody has on masks. What? Derek asked, did you see how Dumb tweeted that foreign governments were going to be making ballots and mailing them in? The world is laughing at us every day. Okay, doesn't Ivanka have a patent or a trademark on voting machines from China? I'm more concerned about that than mailing ballots. That's stupid. That's very dumb, Trump. And Trump is the one who's soliciting foreign powers for assistance or rather interference. That's called a coup. When you want foreign governments to assist you in maintaining power, that's not democratic. But I did not hear that particular conspiracy theory. Unless somebody retweets some shit, I don't know what the fuck Trump is talking about on a day-to-day basis. He's a little nuts. Samuel says, "Why is Dio out there doing shows?" Well, he said that he didn't know he was asymptomatic. I don't know if you're asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic. Those are two different things. Asymptomatic means you're never going to get any symptoms. Pre-symptomatic means you haven't developed your symptoms yet. Let's see. How about K-pop taking down the Trump rally this weekend? I mean, I give them a lot of credit, but also, let's be honest, they had issued 1 million tickets. So it wasn't like their tickets prevented anybody from coming in there. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Apparently, people aren't that stupid to want to go be in a stadium that's enclosed with no mask on in the middle of a pandemic. And also, let's be honest, Trump's crowd sizes were decreasing before COVID hit. Yeah, I see Derek says, please get on TYT. Listen, my eyes are on the prize right now. I dare, I'm always down to drag people, but when they have a whole system that they built on white supremacy and on dragging people like Kamala Harris, I wouldn't even be on task with what I'm trying to do if I responded to every dumbass thing that they said. Lozo says, I missed first half hour because you didn't post the link on Twitter as usual. Oh, it's not showing up on Twitter? You know what? Nobody from Twitter is on here. What is going on? Oh my God. That's messed up. Let me see. I don't know how to change it. I don't know what's going on. I'm about to get off in a minute. Wow, that's shady. Okay, I gotta figure out what's going on with my Twitter. Damn. Okay, well, my bad to my Twitter people. I appreciate you for coming over though. Let's see. Florida governor now doesn't want. Susan says Florida governor doesn't want hospitals to report ICU numbers related to COVID. Are we just letting whoever dies die? That's what it seems like. I saw that. He sat up there and said he doesn't want people to report. He doesn't want to report on the number of people in ICU beds. He wants to report on the number of people that are getting intensive care. It's literally in the name. Why would people be in the ICU if they're not getting intensive care? That's how dumb Republicans are. Dumb and dangerous. But I mean, it does seem like it's just like good luck, bitches, when it comes to this COVID stuff, right? Like I haven't seen where we're not just basically giving up. That's what's crazy. Someone bought studentsfortrump.com and rerouted it to KDH. I love that. I thought that's hilarious. Hey, Lonnie. I don't know if I said hi to you yet. Jose, what up? Elizabeth. Let's say. Okay, I'm trying to catch up. I'm still 7 minutes behind. Ernest. I think it's a two-person race between Kamala and Keisha. Val was police chief without public smoking with Stacey. Biden will not choose a single woman. He just won't. Damn, why I gotta be a bad problem because she's single? I would probably not agree with that. I would think it'd be between Kamala, Val, and Susan. Yeah, that's what I would say. I think Keisha is, she hasn't won statewide. She's a mayor. I'm not saying that as a pejorative. I'm just saying that as in terms of, I'm pretty sure he would prefer somebody with some federal experience. So yes. Star Jones, the Star Jones. As a prosecutor, your job is to advocate for the victims and seek justice. Exactly. And that part gets totally lost in terms of Kamala Harris's advocacy record. Remember, Kamala Harris is the person that cleared the rape kit backlog in the entire state of California. 40 million people. That's who Kamala Harris is. Kamala Harris is the one who created the Bureau of Children's Justice. She's the one who created, all of these mechanisms to support the victims. And so that's what just trips me out when people just they want to act like, we live in this society where the only victims are the people who are committing the crimes and not the people who are the victims of the people who commit crimes. Come on. Let's be real. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, I don't bring people up to try to like exploit what's going on, but Toyin, who was the beautiful young lady, an activist, Black Lives Matter activist, and she was kidnapped, tortured, raped, and murdered for days. I mean, she was kidnapped for days and raped for days, and the person who did this was a black man, and I just wonder, like, the way that people talk about, oh, she locked up black men. Well, did they commit the crime? Were they out there raping people or murdering people? I don't have a problem with that. Matter of fact, I say fry their ass up. Kamala Harris doesn't believe in the death penalty. I say fry their ass up. So she's nicer than me. But we need victims to have justice. So I don't have a problem with that shit. If you were abolitionist, then I don't know who you're gonna find that's gonna like who you're gonna like at all. Because nobody's an abolitionist on that stage. My mom is in the chat. Hi, Mom. She did not participate in the food challenge this weekend. Who won this? My brother won. My brother won with his trio. So we're going to do a trio this time, because each week we all try to like one up each other. And so last week we one upped everybody with our lobster trio. So then this week my brother one upped us with his waffle trio. So now next week we're equalizing the trio. Everybody's doing a trio. Let's see. I missed 20 minutes of the interview. Did you address the Jason Overstreet tweet? Okay, this is what I'll say. This is what I'll say about anybody that has anything to say about K-Hive. Get the fuck over it. Until you have the energy to push back on things like in several days, Kamala Harris, if you analyze 200,000 tweets, Kamala Harris got 181,795 tweets. So my comment to those people is the toxic is brought to Kamala. Now, if we get on your ass because you talking mess, you trashing her, disinformation, smearing her, then you should have kept your mouth shut. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. I'm not going to be tone police. I'm not going to be apologetic about advocating fiercely for Kamala Harris. And if anybody got a problem with anything that I say, they can come see me. I gave an invitation every day at 5 p.m. I'm on here. For anybody that got something to say. Get cussed out on live. It don't matter. But yeah, people have been bitching about the K-Hive since forever. I mean, I just ignore it. They want us to be on the defensive. Our defensive is defending Kamala. Our offensive is supporting Kamala. And so I don't have a problem with it. People can just shut the fuck up and get over it, as far as I'm concerned. Just got here, Carl. Saw your IG. Congrats, Miss. My question, is it Colbert or like Colbert? So what's Colbert? It's Colbert with a hard T. Even though I do like Colbert. Colbert sounds cool, huh? Let's see. I think of the Zoomers as contributing to helping save lives in the time of COVID. There are teens being teams. Yeah. Let's see. All right, let's see. Am I caught up? Am I getting closer? All right. Lair, Bazelon, and Mehdi Hassan have basically been tweeting that Kamala was a bad AG but good senator in the past hour. I done already got on Mehdi's head plenty of times. And here's the facts. I have demonstrated this time and time again that Kamala Harris was actually an excellent AG. Let's not forget that Kamala Harris secured the largest settlement against mortgage companies in history. And that was not an affirmative action settle, be clear. That was Kamala Harris, and I have receipts on this if you go look at my AG thread, demanding $20 billion. She walked away from the table when all these other AGs were trying to accept less, and she walked away, and she got a record $20 billion settlement. That was Kamala Harris. So people that like to cherry pick things and take things out of context are liars, and I've demonstrated that. There's much more to Kamala Harris's record than some neo-Nazi who spent a little bit extra time in jail. I don't have any goddamn sympathy for him. If you was talking about a Catholic priest that was caught in jail because of a technicality, then I'd be sympathetic. But a neo-Nazi, I'm not crying Argentina for no goddamn neo-Nazi. But Kamala Harris still wasn't involved. And I've demonstrated that too, okay? But people are backtracking. You're going to see some backtracking. Look, I said it. It's going to be like last week. So last week was week 1. Probably this week and another week, people are going to be going balls to the walls, right? So you're going to have people that are going to go balls to balls. They're in denial. They don't want to accept that it's looking more and more like Kamala. And they're going to do everything they can to come at her. But then you're going to have the people, and I said this, I think on Friday, your apologies would be welcome. You still ain't shit, but your apologies will be welcome at this point in time. And so we will have the people who will be backtracking. Then all of a sudden, oh, Kamala wasn't that bad. Oh, well, I wasn't saying that she was bad on everything. These are just certain areas that I disagree with her. Oh, really? Just certain areas? Because that ain't how that was the energy you was giving off. The energy you was getting off is that she was the devil. So expect people, you're going to have people that are going to be backtracking. That's fine. That is fine. Sean King is trending now on Twitter. What do he do now? He has me blocked. I don't care. Somebody said, who is Jason? Nobody. Nobody, baby. Star Jones. The Star Jones says, you come for a black woman. The black woman, the KR, are going to come for you. That's just the bottom line, period. I stay over here minding my business. Don't send for me unless you want me to come for you. That's it. Don't send for Kamala if you don't want me to come for you. I don't go over on Gingivitis Twitter messing with them people. If y'all want to sit up there and be all, pro Miss Millie, I don't have a problem with it. You can do what you want to do. I promise you I don't bother anybody. I don't follow people. I don't bother them. I'm over here minding my business. But when you come over here around these parts, then you're going to have a problem. But you asked for it. Just remember that you asked for it. Don't cry bully. Derek says, nobody is doing more work in the Senate right now than Senator Harris. The Star Jones says, black women are no longer entertaining criticism for standing up for our own. Exactly. I saw somebody, and this is where it's the credibility. This is why I'm like, I'm not doing this tone policing thing with you. I'm not doing this apologetic thing for you. I'm not going to do the sidetracking thing, because somebody said that it was racist to call out white supremacy in the way that some of these people are making the case for an all-white ticket. That's not racist, Bill. You don't understand how that works. And there is a lot of white supremacy in the double standards. There's a lot of white supremacy in how black women are even talked about. When black women are referred to as cosmetics, when black women are referred to as a distraction, when women are referred to as a symbolism, and they're not given credit for their credentials, that's white supremacy. Because nobody else gets talked about in that manner. Nobody does. Only black women. So that's where the pushback comes in, and we're not going to make apologies for it. No, absolutely not. Shantae says, my video on Kamala Harris being the actual progressive is very true. Of course, right. Okay, I'm about to wrap it up. I caught up. Zadeko says Nashville hot chicken. I know my brother's chicken look good. Okay, let me give y'all a little bit of insight. So let me see. I'm going to recap our food challenges right quick, just so y'all know who won. It's so funny. Let me tell you, I felt so bad. I felt so bad for my sister because she has not won even one challenge. And I promise you, when I saw her waffle this week, I was like, this might be able to do it. I was like, it looks really good. She had the spicy chocolate waffle. And I was like, looks really good. But then I saw my brother's waffle trio and I was like, ooh, that looks really damn good. And so me and my husband, we were trying to stage our waffle. And my husband had put the chicken, after he fried it, he put it in the oven. So like the skin was falling off. I was like, oh my God. So my husband, he's funny because I don't have much of a poker face, Jill. He was like, "No, you were looking at me like this looks like shit," and I was like, "It tasted very good, very very good." Okay, but I was just like, "We're not gonna win." I will tell you this though. This is some insider knowledge too. My husband makes everything from scratch. He made his sweet potato batter from scratch. He made his buttermilk batter from scratch. He makes syrup from scratch. Like that man can cook his ass off. Okay, he made some collard greens yesterday. I think he could take Kamala in the collard greens challenge. I really do. But anyway, so I posted up the results, and immediately it's like my brother shooting into the lead, but then my husband is like doing really well in terms of the challenge, and my sister was like 13, 12%, and she was so hurt, y'all, and I felt so bad for her, and I was trying to give her encouragement. We were all like, no, season, it was really good, but she was just, it was one too many losses. So my brother and my husband are tied for 3 wins each. My husband won the lobster. He won the lobster, the shrimp and grits, and what else did he win? Lobster, shrimp and grits, the burger challenge. And my brother won the shrimp alfredo. He won I think he won the enchiladas, and he won this week. So, and my mom, she won the steak and she won the wings. So my mom, she would have given us one for our money. This week we're doing a lot. We're doing taco trio. So that's what I'm going to. He says yes. Let's have a collard green challenge with Kamala. I would love to do that. I would love to do that. I think that would be really fun. Um, our Zoom cook-offs are so popular though. I was thinking like, oh shit, do we like assholes for posting like steaks and lobsters and shit like that? But I was like, oh well, fuck it. We gotta eat like this. Let's eat good. So before I go, let me just repeat that Wednesday, me and the Star Jones are having a discussion right here, 5 p.m. Eastern, about credentials, not cosmetics. Black women are ready to be president on day one. Okay, that's our discussion. I probably botched the tagline and stuff like that, but it's the credentials, not cosmetic conversations. But listen, another thing I'm excited to talk about. My sister Season's in the chat. Hi, Season. Listen, Season might not be winning in terms of the food challenges, but I'm telling you, Season is a huge hit with my recaps, my insecure recaps. Tony says, y'all will lose to my collard greens. Listen, Tony, I'm telling you right now, my husband makes the best collard greens. Period. Nobody, literally nobody, is touching my husband's collard greens. It's like heaven in your mouth. They're so amazing. So I don't know. Nobody can see him. Nobody can see him. But anyway, speaking of my sister, that leads me to my next point. Tomorrow, we are going to be live recapping Greenleaf. So we're going to watch the show, and then after the show, we're going to come on live, and we're going to talk about it, kind of like what we did for Insecure. And I'm super excited. I love, love, love Greenleaf. And I hope she's caught up because tomorrow is when it starts. But if y'all watch Greenleaf, let me know and put it in the comments. I'm gonna hop off in literally 2 minutes, but put it in the comments if you watch Greenleaf. So I will be 5 p.m. on my normal time, but I'm gonna come back later to talk about Greenleaf after the show. So don't watch it on DVR. Don't save it for another day. It's the final season, Rochelle. Yes. So come back tomorrow, right after Greenleaf comes on, and chat with me and Season about Greenleaf, because you know it's gonna be scandalous, share. You know it's gonna be good, and so we're gonna have to talk about it. It's gonna be the final season. Season says I'm on season 4 today. Okay, so she gonna be caught up by tomorrow. So y'all come back for that. So Wednesday, me and Star Jones. Tomorrow, regular time per usual, 5 p.m. and Greenleaf. And so tag a friend, bring a friend, and we can all kiki and talk our mess together. Selena's caught up. Yes, it's tomorrow, Greenleaf. Okay. It's a good show, Lozo. It says, my mother is a fan of Greenleaf. I've never seen it. I love Greenleaf. I didn't think I was going to like it. I thought it was going to be all super churchy, but I love Greenleaf. I'm Team Grace. Oh, one final thing. Not bragging or anything. But last summer for Essence Festival, I went to this own event at Essence, and it was like the entire cast of Queen Sugar, the entire cast of Greenleaf, the entire cast of Ambition. So I got to meet everybody. And normally I'm like the kind of person that's like, oh no, I don't really like to, go up to celebrities or anything like that. But my friend was like, no, go meet everybody. They're here to socialize. So I got pictures with like everybody. And I'm a huge, huge, huge Moral Dangerous fan. And of course, the Lynn Whitfield. I mean, come on. She's iconic. I still watch a thin line between love and hate. Like it just came out yesterday. So yes, I loved meeting the cast. I loved meeting Kofi. He's very charming. Very, very, very charming, JL. Who else? I loved everybody. Everybody was so nice. But Queen Sugar, oh, Nicholas Ash, such a sweetheart. Like I said, everybody was great. Everybody was great. Dawn Lynn Gardner, um, um, Rutina Wesley, like everybody was fabulous. Wonderful cast. So yeah, anyway, but great link tomorrow. So that's it for me, y'all. All about Queen Sugar. I don't know when Queen Sugar is coming back. I hope it comes back this summer though. But I think they normally switch off. I think it's Greenleaf and then it's gonna be Queen Sugar. So maybe by the fall we'll see Queen Sugar. But I'm looking forward to that as well. So I'm out, y'all, for the day. Y'all check out Roland Martin Unfiltered. It's coming on at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I'll see y'all tomorrow back here, 5 p.m. Bye.